Hi, I'm Casey Stutzman, owner here at the Performance Locker in Alpena, Michigan, and today we want to talk about and give you some tips on how do you get started in the sport of triathlon, especially if you're on a budget. Now, a lot of first-time triathletes, it's something that you've been kicking around, you really want to try, but the thing that can be really intimidating is the cost. It can be super expensive, especially when you start talking to your friends that are hardcore triathletes and they're spending thousands of dollars on bikes and wetsuits and travel. But good news is you can get involved with a sprint level triathlon at very, very low cost. So I want to show you some of the tips and tricks and some of the gear to get you started for your first or second triathlon so you can get into the sport, see if you like it, and then you can start building your gear repertoire from there. A really easy way to manage the cost is to look for a race close by. So if you find something close to you that you could travel to on race morning, that way you're getting rid of hotel expenses, you don't have to stay the night, gas becomes lower, and then look for something that, maybe something local that might have lower entry costs. We're gonna look at each one of the three disciplines separately, breaking down the gear and making our recommendations for what you need to get started. For the swim, the area that you can drop the most coin very quickly is on a wetsuit, but do you really, really, really need one? Now, yes, it's true there is a competitive advantage for a wetsuit because it increases buoyancy, it can make you go a little bit faster and kind of save your energy a little bit. However, if we're just talking about a 500-meter swim, which is usually what you're going to experience in a sprint distance triathlon, it's going to be marginal. So is the investment worth the extra time or the time that you might save? Probably not, especially if you're just getting into the sport. So how do you avoid purchasing a wetsuit altogether? Simple and easy way is look for a warm race. So somewhere in July or August in a warm area, and try and look for an inland lake that is a little bit shallower. Those temperatures are going to respond a lot quicker. It's going to be warmer water. You might not need a wetsuit, period. A lot of races or shops or dive shops or tri shops might rent wetsuits as well. So if you're that person who gets really cold, or if you're looking at a little bit longer distance, or maybe you're going to be in a big, like one of the Great Lakes, and you know it's going to be a little bit colder, try and look at renting a wetsuit, as a lot of race places will do that. If you're able to avoid going with the wetsuit, you can keep your swimming gear super basic and super simple. I strongly recommend a pair of just basic tri shorts. Now, what makes these different than a normal compression short is that it's got this chamois on the inside. So if we turn it inside out, you can see that there's kind of that fleecy lining on the inside. That's just going to help with chafing, and that's going to help when you transition onto the bike to make sure that you don't have that wet material right against wet skin and then sitting on the saddle. So that's totally worth it. You can get a really good pair of tri shorts for somewhere between $20 and $40. Check out discount places, check out last year models, sale racks. Looking online is a great place to do that, and this will fit right under your wetsuit if you are wearing one, but you can swim, bike, and run in these all together. They're totally worth it. As far as tops go, just a basic compression top. So this is just an Under Armour compression top. It's gonna fit nice and close and tight to the skin. It's gonna dry quickly, it's gonna wick. You can swim in this very, very easily. If you're worried about a little extra kind of flap around the arms, just go with a long sleeve version. You can always change it out in your transition area, but this will work really good. Ladies, you can just go with just a basic sports bra. This is gonna do the job quite nicely. And then again, I can swim and bike and run all in this top. You can get a really nice compression shirt from anywhere from $20 to $40. And then finally, goggles, just a basic pair. They make outdoor goggles, they make really cool ones that have bigger fields of view and da-da-da-da-da. You don't need them, just start off with something basic. Most people have a pair of just very basic swim goggles. If you need to purchase them, you're only looking at $10 to $20. I like the ones with the smoked lenses because you're gonna be outside, you don't know which way the sun's coming at you. But this is a really quick and easy thing. Sometimes if you go to your local pools, lost and found, they might even have extra pairs lying around that they wouldn't mind to give you. So, now let's take a look at the bike. The bike is one section of a triathlon that spending can easily get crazy out of control. You can drop upwards of $6,000 on a full carbon time trial bike, but good news is you don't have to get sucked dry and blow the bankroll just to participate in a triathlon. As far as bikes go, especially for your first try, if you got a bike, ride it. Whether it's a townie, a mountain bike, a road bike, it doesn't really make a difference. Most tries at the sprint level are 12 to 15 miles. That's a very, very, very reasonable difference. So if you have kind of a cross bike, a hybrid bike, or a mountain bike, that will totally do the job. One thing that we recommend is changing out your tires, and that can be a really inexpensive way to increase the performance on your bike. So instead of those big, thick, knobby tires that are gonna have a lot of rolling resistance on the road, we look for something thinner and something with less tread. So that's gonna roll a little bit easier. You'll notice a massive difference with that very simple change alone. So switching out the tires, which your local bike shop would even help you out and hook you up with, is gonna be a really easy way to take that mountain bike or that hybrid or that cross bike and make it a little bit more road ready. Now, if you got a road bike, awesome. Make sure it's comfortable, make sure everything is dialed up. Pedals and shoes are another big area. People are looking at clipless pedals, which are the ones that actually clip in. There's a cleat, a special pedal, and a cleat on the bottom of a shoe. Not necessary. So you can go basic pedals with toe cages. That's gonna help keep your foot in there. It's gonna help you get a little bit more power per pedal revolution. Most bikes already come with them. If you don't have some, check out your local bike shop. They're really inexpensive. They might even have some extras lying around. If you have any cycling friends, I guarantee they have an extra set of pedals and toe cages sitting somewhere in a box or in a garage when they converted their bike over to clipless pedals. As far as shoes go, wear your basic running shoes that we'll talk about in the next section, and you can transition really quickly and easily from the bike to the run with the same pair of shoes. Helmets, most races require that you do have a helmet, so just whatever you got. If you're gonna be doing a lot of cycling, it's a really good idea to invest in a good helmet. Maybe it's something that you can rent, check out your local bike shop, but it doesn't matter whether you're gonna be with a road helmet or a mountain helmet. Helmet's a helmet as long as it protects your head. Now, if you got everything else lined up, the run is pretty simple. We're gonna talk about what most runners like to talk about, shoes. Now, I said back in the cycling section, you can use the same pair of shoes for the bike as you can for the run. So choose these by choosing the running shoes that you like best. Which ones do you have that are comfortable? Again, if you're getting into triathlon, there's a really strong chance that you have run in the past and that you have a pair of running shoes that you dig. One thing that I would strongly recommend is investing in a set of speed laces. These are basically just elastic. You feed them through, and there's this little clip that goes on there, so that way it makes it really easy to slip your foot in and out of the shoe. It saves a lot of time and hassle at the transition and makes it easy to get the shoes on in what we call T1, which is where you're going from the swim to the bike, slip in, and then that way when you come in for T2, which is when you go from the bike to the run, your shoes are on and you're ready to go. So speed laces, they only cost like $7 to $10, 100% worth it. The rest of the run is just based on comfort. Now, you can wear the same gear that you wore for the swim and the bike, the tri-shorts and the compression top. If you want to have an extra pair of shorts to slip over, you can do that. A hat or something to catch sweat or block the sun, sunglasses, all these things are for comfort, but they're not necessary. You can 100% run without them. Some people will purchase what are called race belts. It's this little belt that clips around your waist that your race number goes onto. Another quick and easy and inexpensive way to do that is to take an extra t-shirt or tank top and hook your race number onto that shirt and put it in your transition area. So that way when you come off the bike, you just throw that other shirt on top of your compression shirt, race number's on there, and you are good to go. So that's it for our list of tips and tricks. Thank you so much for checking us out, and good luck to you on your next triathlon.